Today's interview is sponsored by Golson Spine, Chiro and Rehab Center. You may learn more about them by clicking the link in our description. Okay, Consul General Mair. Well, today we have the distinct pleasure of speaking with Jamaica's Consul General to Miami, Oliver Mair. Consul General, we realize how busy you are, but let me introduce you to our audience. Consul General Mair, in your role as Consul General for the Southern United States, we understand your jurisdiction covers 13 states plus the Bahamas and the Cayman Islands. Okay, we appreciate you being here. Our first question is, let's jump right into it. We most recently interviewed you for our August issue, and we received considerable feedback from our readers on topics such as citizenship for second-generation Jamaican Americans and voting in Jamaican elections while abroad. This brings several questions to mind, and our first one is, there's recently been a surge in interest among second-generation Jamaican Americans who would like to become Jamaican citizens. Can you give us some insight into how these second-generation Jamaican Americans may apply for Jamaican citizenship? And does the Jamaican Consulate offer citizenship by descent services?
Yes. Well, first of all, pleasure to be on your program, and greetings to all your listeners, compliments of the season. And I know this video will live on, so persons will know that it was close to the Christmas season. We just had our one of two Christmas concerts last night, and I delivered a version of Shaggy's song, Christmas in the Island Breeze.
Yes.
So, it was fairly well received. And, we're just giving thanks for all God's many blessings to us throughout the year, and looking forward to next year. And one of the things we are thankful for is that we continue to see a rise in persons becoming Jamaican citizens. So those who are entitled to become Jamaican citizens, exercising that right. And that's primarily by citizenship by descent and citizenship by marriage to a less extent. About 97% of those who are becoming Jamaican citizens from our office are doing it by descent. And so once you have a parent, grandparent, anybody in the lineage who was a Jamaican, both on whether on your mother's side or your father's side, and you can prove it by way of their birth certificate, then you're entitled to become a Jamaican citizen. And I mean, you basically fill out a citizenship form. That individual would have to present their birth certificate. You'd also have to present your birth certificate. You present the pictures, 2 pictures. You complete the form, and you can either come into the consulate or you can mail it in. We invite persons to visit our website, www.jamaicacgmiami.org, and that gives you all information. And pretty much we've had an over 200% increase in persons becoming Jamaican citizens. So it's really been a good news story for us, and we're excited about it.
Yes, especially nowadays, everybody's proud to claim their Jamaican heritage, we know. Okay, well, I guess you've answered most of our questions in one shot. But after they've received citizenship, how would they go about applying for a Jamaican passport?
Right. So right after you become a citizen now, you're entitled to have get your Jamaican passport, which, first of all, the citizenship takes about 3 months by descent. And then your passport, you're looking at about 6 weeks. And typically, if there are no errors in the application form, it takes 6 weeks. So again, you can mail in your application, and if you can actually come down to the consulate, we normally encourage that, because if there's any adjustment that needs to be made in the form, we can do that right there with you. Many times persons will leave out a signature here or there and we have to, call you or write you back to get that information, and that can hold up the time. So we invite persons to come down as if they're able to, but if not, you can mail in. And I should say that twice a year we have designed a unique citizenship welcome ceremony. And this is where the entire community gets involved. We have the Talawamento Band, we have Steve Higgins, we have some of our poets. We sing nice nostalgic Jamaican songs. Jamaica Land of Beauty, and Claude McKay's poem. And we just welcome persons into the fold of Jamaican family, or newly minted Jamaicans. And we, as you mentioned earlier, we cover 13 states. And so we do a virtual ceremony, and we have the name, we have someone read out the names of persons who have come into the family. It's really been a lovely experience. People have written in to say they appreciate it. We have persons who cry when they hear their names called. I mean, one lady, I remember she out of Atlanta, she mentioned that her dad always wanted her to become a Jamaican citizen. So when she exercised that right, she said she knows her dad now is crying tears of joy in heaven for this moment. And she was also in tears. It's a very special moment. And we believe it's one of the strategies we have been doing to promote the fact that you can become a Jamaican citizen, and also to welcome you when you're a part of the fold. And we want to see our second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th generation of Jamaicans.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome. It's something we're encouraging.
Yeah, I was wondering where we draw the line with that.
No, we don't draw the line.
Yeah, okay, so even fourth and fifth generation.
Yeah, we can come.
Can apply.
We welcome
Okay,
you.
wonderful. Okay. All right. Well, would you know what employment opportunities are available for Jamaican Americans in Jamaica? Say for first generation Jamaican Americans if they want to go back home, and for second generation Jamaican Americans if they decide they would like to live in Jamaica. What are the employment opportunities you see?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that, Jamaica has been doing, I would say, fairly well in terms of the economy. We just posted for the January to September period a 5.2% growth in our GDP. Our debt to GDP in 2011, 2012 was at 149% debt to GDP. And as we speak now, our debt to GDP is at 96%. Jamaica just enjoyed its best tourist season ever for summer of all times.
Wow. Okay.
And many companies on the stock market have recorded their best performance ever. Why do I mention all of that? Just as a fact to say that lots of positives taking place in Jamaica. We know the negatives, but lots of positives taking place. And so we have individuals actively looking to invest in our country. And these, as many times, they're foreigners. And we want to encourage our Jamaicans to say, hey, let's not just allow foreigners to invest. You have the opportunity. We want you to come on board, whether via the stock market, whether real estate, fixed income. And in that regard, in terms of jobs, job postings, every week, the Gleaner posts jobs that are available. And so persons can go online, Gleaner Observer, Jamaica Observer, and look at the different postings just to see what jobs are available. Or you may decide to create your own business. We have many individuals who have reached out to me, and they're buying whether hotels in Jamaica, or building hotels, or starting a new industry. And many times they will reach out to us at the consulate. And I am excited by the cadre of young people that have been speaking to me, saying, look, we don't just want to work for somebody. We want to be a part of creating the new wealth back home in Jamaica. So we want to start businesses. I think of my distant cousin, Kadeen Mairs, who is the CEO of a company called Dollar, which just went on the the Jamaica Junior Stock Exchange. They did an IPO. They were oversubscribed by 9 billion Jamaican dollars. I think of my good friend Andrew Williams, who his company just went public, Regency Petroleum. They were oversubscribed as well, I think, by $1 billion. And so we have a cadre of young people. They're not listening to any of the negatives. They're focusing on the opportunities, and they're investing, and they're making their presence felt. Every Friday night, there's a group on Twitter that young people in their early 20s, and they review the Jamaica stock market, and they tell you up front they're not investors, but they tell you some of the opportunities that are taking place. So I giving you a roundabout way to just say, look, Jamaica is open for investment, and not just a traditional way of coming and getting a job, but coming to start your own business and create jobs for other persons. So even though we have seen, I believe, a 25% increase in the BPO sector jobs, and even though we see a lot of people looking to come back home, and even though the unemployment rate, I believe, is the lowest ever in Jamaica's history, we are encouraged by people actually investing and creating new industries and creating jobs for other persons.
Nice. Okay. Sounds promising. Well, on that note, can I ask you, could you explain to us how Jamaican Americans abroad, here and abroad, can invest in Jamaica, in the Jamaica Stock Exchange?
Excellent question. And I invite persons to, if you want to reach out to us directly at the consulate, feel free to do so. We are not investment advisors. We are facilitators. You reach out to the Jamaica Stock Exchange because they're official brokers that will be more than happy to walk you through the steps of setting up an account. Once you have set up the account, and I will tell you up front, sometimes the process at the start may be a little longer than anticipated. It's not any fault of any one of the brokers. They just have to follow the regulations, many a time imposed by the banking system globally that requires you to know your customer. But once you get your account set up, you can, from the ease of your computer, from anywhere you are in the world, you can actually start to trade stocks. Like I buy stocks online using my online trading portal. I establish a relationship with one of the brokers. I have a couple of relationships, and I'm able to, from the comfort of my office, just decide on which stocks I would like to buy and get started. It's very, very, very easy. A lot of persons think that you need this, that, and the other. No, very easy. Whether you're going through a Mair Investments, a Jamaica Money Market Brokers, NCB Capital, Victoria Mutual. You see, I'm just giving you some of the options that I'm remembering. Proven investments. These are 5 options, but you can go directly to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I wouldn't want to create any unfair bias for any one of the brokers, but these brokers can set up the account, and then they will give you access to online banking. And many a times you have the opportunity to just do things on your own without having to interact with the individual again. That's the ease. So Jamaica is right up there with the technology. We're not perfect, but a lot of people are not aware that from the comfort of your office, you can buy any stock you want and be actively invested in Jamaica and pay your bills from right where you are in the diaspora. A lot of people are not aware of that. And so Jamaican companies have invested in the technology required. We have 101 companies that are listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and for 2 years, in 2015 and 2018, the Jamaica Stock Exchange was ranked as a top performing stock market in the entire world.
Wow, that's nice to hear.
And really absorb what I just said. So there are great opportunities taking place, and companies continue to post excellent results. I mean, I keep up to date with all their posting of their results, and we continue to see record performances by Jamaican companies.
Great. Oh my gosh, that sounds wonderful. Okay, so will it first and second generation Jamaican Americans, are interested in giving back to the Jamaican people. Do you know, and can you tell us if there are any nonprofit organizations they may donate to?
Yes, and there are a lot of 501c organizations that provide donations to Jamaica, and you can work with one of them. For example, Food for the Poor is one that we work with consistently, and they're a large organization right here in South Florida. And you know, just this Saturday we did a food drive. We did over 1,000 boxes of food. It's going to head back to Jamaica and some other islands. We work close to the Jamaican Nurses Association. Most of the alumni groups here have the 501c status and are able to send back to Jamaica and enjoy the privileges of being a charity organization. There's also the National Education Trust. You can go online, read up on some of the requirements. They are there actually to help to facilitate individuals or groups, primarily groups who would like to give back to Jamaica, and they can handhold you in terms of if you have something specific that you want to give back to Jamaica. You can reach out to them. They'll tell you all the requirements. Typically, the group they're receiving the stuff will have to do get involved in some of the arrangements. But NET is a very good stop as well as any of the charity groups that are resident right here in the diaspora. Just reach out to them. Many times people tell me, "Oh man, I have 2 or 3 wheelchairs I want to give to Jamaica." Direct them to the Nurses Association or Food for the Poor, and they will put the arrangements in place and persons can send out.
Great, that's wonderful information. Well, a follow-up question to that is, do you know if Jamaica has any volunteerism projects where interested travelers may volunteer in Jamaica while also learning about the island and its culture?
Oh yeah, we have tons of mission groups that go to Jamaica. In fact, I don't think we've done such a great job in capturing all of them. Every day I hear of a different one. I was speaking to a gentleman at Memorial Hospital, and his top surgeon is part of a mission team that goes to Jamaica every year, and they do surgeries and free to the community, and they ask for volunteers, people to come along to do different aspects. Most of the alumni groups, they do missions, so they raise funds. They do a fundraiser here in the States, and then they will procure funds. They will go back, carry down the items with them to Jamaica, but they'll also do mission work in the community, and whether they're giving away free dental care or they're painting up a facility, or just carrying stuff to the community. We have from the consulate, we have worked with Jamaica United Relief Association, and we have an annual 5K, the Jamaica High 5K, takes place in May. And the last race, we had over 1,000 persons participated, and we've been able to adopt 5 clinics in the Adopt a Clinic program in Jamaica, and we have also reached out to other groups. We got another, so we have 16 groups here in the community that have adopted clinics. And so they not only adopt the clinic, but they also help the community. And so volunteers can be a part of these various programs and get involved, get on the ground in Jamaica, or volunteer to help one of the existing groups up here in the diaspora.
Very good.